Hello everybody, Brett here for TopoRanger, and welcome to another episode. We're back in Maryland today, and what we're going to try to do is walk the Panther Branch here along Deer Creek. I came down here just to check out the creek real quick before I got all my stuff together, and I was walking here, there's the creek, when I saw there is a young deer laying here. At first I thought maybe it was dead and it had been hit and it was just laying there from the road, but then I saw that its eye moved, so I don't know what's going on. It looks rather skinny, and it has a thing of water. So I think that somebody already must have seen this and put some water there. Oh, it's heartbreaking. I mean, I don't see anything, but the way it's laying there, it just seems like something's wrong. A beautiful animal. So I guess I'll just leave it alone. I don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing any other deer around here in this immediate area. I would imagine if it was left by its mother, that means that the mother knows somehow that this young deer is not going to survive, or maybe the mother is out foraging and will come back to check on it. I don't know. That's weird though. I've never I mean, I've seen lots of deer, but I've never seen that. All right, well, let's get kitted up and see what we can find. So why are we at this specific location today here at Gunpowder Falls State Park is because I want to try to see if I can check out at least part of the Panther Branch, which is right here. We are here. I want to go this way and then up the Panther Branch and maybe come back there, because I know there's interesting stuff there. I think there's some ruins, and also I've seen on Hiking Herping Dudes Instagram that there is at least one cave there. The legend of the Panther Branch is that at some point, I guess during the colonial times, somebody was walking there and they saw a panther, which I guess probably wouldn't be uncommon for that period. See, it's moving its ears. It can definitely hear. It just seems like it's completely like paralyzed or something. We'll check on it when we get back. Weather is nice today. It's cool. It's been raining a lot and been very kind of cold, unseasonably cold here lately. There's the creek. So I'm hoping that the bugs aren't too bad, and that since the temp is low, we won't be sweating and getting all grimy and gritty like we do, right? There are showers or storms, intermittent storms in the forecast. Hopefully we will dodge that bullet. We're getting this big leaf plant again, which I think a commenter said it's called skunk cabbage. If you left that comment and you're watching this, thanks for that. I just can't get over how large the individual leaves are. I mean, this thing is like almost 2 feet long, 1.5 feet wide. It seems to like this environment because we do see a lot of it down here. Our first goal is just to get up Deer Creek. Sorry, Deer Creek. I'm sorry, I'm confused. I called this Deer Creek earlier. That's the name of the creek at Rock State Park, which is also in Maryland, which I think was the last video we did. This is Gunpowder Falls, which at some point turns into the Gunpowder River, a little bit closer to the coast here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to just walk this bank of Gunpowder Falls until we get to the spot where the Panther Branch, as it's called, comes in to Gunpowder Falls. Like I said earlier, we have had a lot of rain around here. And right there you can see what must have been a higher water level, or just mud flats right next to the flowing portion of the creek that perhaps got wet, or the water was higher. I see, I guess, a few deer tracks down there. And that's about it. Everything is kind of wet and moist, and the ground is soggy because it has been raining so much. We've come across a nice little log jam here. Should we see if we can get out to the middle to get a shot? Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's take the backpack off though. That way we don't lose our stuff. If we fall in, we won't make everything wet. Probably should leave my phone here too. Hopefully the bark is not wet and slippery. Seems pretty solid. There we go. That's looking back towards where the car is. And you can see all this stuff is kind of diverting some of the flow into upwelling, like right here and there. I'm not really seeing any fish the way we did down at Rock State Park, where they had those giant trout. I don't know what they were, brown trout? Those things were big. They were mammoth. I've seen plenty of guys fishing down here, fly fishing I think mostly, but other types too. So I know people do it. I know it's popular, but I've never really seen a fish. All right, let's get back on the trail. This is the White Blaze Trail, which I think is Gunpowder South. And then we'll probably take a different trail for the Panther Branch. Starting to get some outcrops up there. Nothing too obvious yet. I think we might have hit it, but I'm not absolutely sure. There is a very obvious side valley here, but I'm not seeing any creek. Wait, hold on. Is that it? Oh, there it is. There's the creek. Okay. Okay, let's go down here first. Just check out the mud flats. So if I was to go to the other side and then walk up a bit, I would be at the spot where we stopped the last time we were here, where we found that interesting cave. Also there was that big waterfall called Raven Rock Falls, or Raven's Rock Falls. So that's that way off to the right, just to orient you. Let's go up here and check out this stream. There should be a trail associated with the Panther Branch, and it should be well worn. I'm not seeing that at all, so I'm wondering if this might just be perhaps an unnamed side valley. We'll have to keep going to figure that one out. I think we're very close though. This stream empties into the Gunpowder about 100 feet that way. The White Trail goes off that way, and then over here we have a Red Blaze Trail. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the Panther Branch. And we're starting to see some outcrops. And that was just a little connector. This is the main Panther Branch Trail. And it's quite large and flat, so that's good. All right, as per our usual protocol, I will pop back in when I find things of interest. We came from there. We did come across this pretty big outcrop right here. And I'm trying to remember the pictures I was looking at. Something about this strikes me as familiar, although I cannot recall exactly what. So why don't we go over there and check that outcrop right there. There is kind of a trail leading up to this outcrop, so it might be a good sign. Yep, there we go. I think this might be the one that I saw on Day Hike and Herping Dudes channel. If you like herping and day hiking, go check out their Instagram feed. It's very good. Let's go check this thing out. Oh wow, yeah. It kind of parallels the stream valley. Tell you what though, it is infested with all kinds of bugs. It's a crawlway. I can see about 20-25 feet back, but it gets very low and it's extremely buggy. Look at that. I'm assuming those are mosquitoes. And there's also a little tube here. Huh. It's got that kind of wavy ceiling. You can really see the foliation is off the charts here. I just wanted to point this out. Can you see the folding there? So, like this, right? It goes right up along this line. And there are these intense foliation, which is really, I would imagine, just the leftover remnants of the original folds. And the way it goes up that way, I'm thinking this probably is some type of a fault here, maybe a small one, but maybe a fault. And that here's the metabasalt. You can see how crumpled it is. And as the Panther Branch cut down, it would have overflowed. The stuff where the cave is now would have been already pre-crunched up, and all it would have need was, you know, flooding to really break it up, some freeze thaw over time. Because even though it almost looks like a phreatic tube, like a karst tube, but I don't think that reflects water pressure, although, you know, I don't know, that's a good question. But it actually goes down that way too, so that other smaller section, it's really just one wide cave with very little room in the middle. But yeah, look at that. You see that folding? I hope it's coming out. And you can really see there's a vein of something in there, which I'm assuming is the metabasalt. See how it's flaking off there? I mean, there's folds that are literally, you know, the size of my hand. Like, I don't know if you call them micro folds. Anyway, I just wanted to show that because I think that's what it is. The fault would be like right here. One more thing before we head on. I was looking at this. The width is from there to there. The larger part is there. But if you look at the way this whole surface here, and this is bedrock, the way it's undulating, it's just completely filled with these small little folds. And to me it almost looks like this cave, this part of the cave used to be longer. It used to extend out to here, but at some point perhaps that piece there was here and it just peeled away, tumbled down, and shortened the cave significantly. So I would definitely say that this, whatever this is called, falls within the model that we're looking at for this area, you know, in terms of the washout type of caves and how they form. Alrighty, we'll say goodbye to that one and onward up the Panther Branch. Now this is getting more narrow as we go upstream. I'm starting to wonder where the ruins are. I remember reading that there were some mill ruins along this trail. I haven't seen anything, although I'm seeing a big hole up there, which I don't think really has an explanation. You see that? And there's this big mound right here, which I guess could be just part of the natural topography. Lots of ferns, lots of fern. This might be where the trail actually jogs to the right, back towards Hillbilly Beach, because it does do that at some point, according to the map. You see this? Can you see that trench? It's a very obvious trench cutting along. I'm wondering if that was the head race, because if they dammed this up right here, the stream goes that way, I think. But there's another stream over here. If you dammed this, you could then raise that water level and send a nice amount of water down this chute. And this would connect with that hole we were seeing just around the corner there. That makes me wonder if there are the ruins of the dam are still here. Okay, we're kind of elevated now. It's looking more wild here the farther we get into this. There's the Panther Branch. I don't see any stone ruins. So the trail goes that way, back towards the parking lot of Hillbilly Beach, kind in that general direction. I don't know, I'm not so sure about what's going on here. And here we have a stream. It's not very big though, but the creek is incised into what looks like soil pretty deep here, and also right there. That buildup of soil may be from the bottom of an old mill pond, I'm thinking, perhaps. You know, because if it was around a long time, sediment builds up, and then when the dam is decommissioned, then if the dam is removed, or in this case it could have been a wooden dam, right? Here's a mound here too. Then the wooden parts of the dam would have just been washed away or rotted out, and then the stream would retrench itself down into the soil that used to be the bottom of the mill pond, and then you would have a situation similar to what we have here. You see this right here? I'm wondering if this is that natural, or is this the dam? Because here we are, there's a big hole right there. All right, so we're looking downstream Panther Branch back towards Gunpowder. We're on the red trail, the Red Blaze Trail. And right here, this whole thing kind of goes out like that. I'm wondering if that's where the dam used to be, right there. And maybe it was an earthen thing with maybe some wooden parts. There, that mound right there, you see that? I don't know if there's any way to really confirm that though. And you can see it does kind of extend over there too. It almost looks like starting here, it's been built up and then stops, and then it picks up right here. I'd like to say this, combined with that obvious V-shaped trench, which could have been the head race, I'd like to say that that is enough for confirmation. I don't know, what do you guys think? I'm not a you know, mill expert in anything like that. I can usually look at something and tell if it's man-made though. Now, what is that alarm we're hearing? Let's see if we can spot any legacy soil or whatever it's called. It's basically the deposits of a mill pond have a kind of a specific look, and if you see them right up against the original natural sediments, it's very obvious. We're going to be able to get right there, which is going to put us right in between this dam that potentially was here. Let's just get around this knotweed. I don't want to take any of that home. That stuff is notoriously hard to get rid of. Okay, so there's the mound there. I'm definitely not seeing any stonework, that's for sure. Okay, this is where that tiny little side stream comes in right there. So there's a hump right here. And there's also one here, see? You start here, it's already back down low, somewhat normal, and then you get this big hump. So this would have been the main part of the dam here, if our theory is correct. Looks like we have something coming down here. See how this is all disturbed? As if hoofs were like shh, shh. Where does that go? And where does this go? I mean, this is the main Panther Branch, but the trail goes that way. Now I'm confused. And it looks like there's a hole right there. Or it's the big... You gotta get over there, check that out. Not really a hole, but it just looks, to me, this looks like the remnants of a pretty large earthen dam. Judging upon what the rest of the valley looks like coming up. That's all I can say. Oh, aha! Something else here. A large flat expanse chopped into the hill. This could have been where they took all the dirt and moved it right down here. The middle of the dam where the stream goes through is right there. Huh. Let's keep going over there. We are standing directly on top of the thickest part of what I believe is an ancient Paleo-Indian burial mound. No, just kidding. I think it's a dam, an earthen dam, and there was a mill here doing something. So this would have been where the mill pond is. And I am seeing very, very thick layers of soil, which we really didn't see coming down that way. And which really, I don't know, for the most part, I'm thinking that's really not common from what I've seen in this area, to have these really thick layers of soil and stuff right next to the creek. So that's another thing that kind of pushes me in the direction of saying this was a mill pond right here. I'm not going to keep going that way because I think that might just take us off out of the park boundaries. So because we didn't really find anything except for that one washout cave, why don't we go back to the Gunpowder and keep going upstream, keep going upriver, up the Gunpowder there, and we have enough battery and a water, we can go for a little bit and maybe we'll turn something up. All right, we have made it back to the mighty Gunpowder. That's the trail that goes back to the parking lot, and this is the trail, I think, that will take us along this side of the creek. Action. So we were on the Panther Branch and we are about to go on the Gunpowder. That way and this way. Look at this. What an early summer scene here. I would imagine we are going to see some big outcrops over here, as long as they're not completely obscured by the vegetation. We have a potential hiking hazard here. Large tree is wedged in between other trees. Right there. Just kind of perched there. Let's get under here. Yep, fell in just the right way. I just consulted the map, and we are still quite a ways down from where we ended the last episode, up there by Raven Rock Falls. And what I've decided to do, even though we didn't find much, we did find that one washout cave and the remnants of what I think certainly looked like an earthen mill dam there at the end of the Panther Branch. That was basically it. It's a beautiful hike. It's an easy trail. It's lovely this time of year, but there really weren't that many outcrops. There wasn't much there for us and what we like to do in this channel. Instead of going on this way, I'm going to spend the rest of the time that I have this afternoon scouting down in this general location. Maybe I can turn up something for a next episode when we come down here. That's basically it. I had a good time. I hope you did too. If you did, please hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, follow me on all platforms, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that was a dam? I think it was, but I'm no dam expert, so I'm not sure. All right, this is Brett for TopoRanger, and I'll see everyone in the next episode. So we made it back to the parking lot, and the deer is gone. Cup of water was right there where it was. The deer was laying right here, so I'm thinking that maybe, wait, no, or it's over there now. So it moved. Huh. Okay, I'm sorry. I just noticed. Huh. So this deer is able to get up and move because it was laying right here. That's weird. Okay, so what does that mean? It's kind of curled up. I wonder what's going on. Did it just lose its mom or its dad, or did its family? It seems quite alert too. I guess there's nothing I can do. Take it easy.